All the world working together estimates, estimate that they will take about over 300 years to establish exact circuitry, how each neuron connects to the other one. The cells of the brain are called neurons. So every time there's interference in that electronics, in the chemistry of the brain, or whatever, then you have instability of some kind. And that can be induced by simple things like what that shouting you're doing in front of your baby this morning, this evening, before this TV. That shouting you're asking, you can still have a cup of tea without shouting. You can still make your wife understand without howling loud insults. You can still get hurt by driving carefully on the road and without hooting and showing evil signs, because those footprints grow and drive our children to where we are now, a very clear society. Currently, I don't have the latest figure, but the last figure I had before COVID, those people who had mental illness in Kenya were about, and who required immediate treatment, call it addiction, were about 8.6 million. I guess now it should be about 12 million or thereabouts for now, but I leave that one to Nakala. The dangers we have today because of poor parenting will be paid by the whole society. The whole society. The other day, somebody almost killed me with a truck. The man is overloaded to a level of 60 tons because he is on Mira and has been driving from Mombasa all the way to Nakuru non-stop. He's not normal. He's on Mira, Viagra powder on top, and other concoctions. So the guy is not normal. Mental health, even when you're very innocent. And you'll be surprised, the first word he told me when he got out of the accident scene is, when Mrevi. You can imagine, the guy sees me as a drunkard. That is the status of mental health. In actual fact, I just didn't want to continue with it from that point, because what I've been saying, we have a lot of people who have this mental condition. My advice going forward, if you must talk to a fellow human being, whether it's to a politician, to your wife, to your child, be humble. Be humble. Talk softly. You'll be understood, and these vulgar things you are doing now will have permanent damage in the brain of a child. Please don't expose our children to those vulgar dances, to alcohol, to all forms of drugs. There's white men you see today in Chicago and the black men in Chicago who are really a disgrace to the society, to the American society, are a result of what we are trying to do today, trying to exercise our Bill of Rights in the opposite direction, ignoring everybody else's rights. God save Kenya.
Maybe my final question, so briefly, just tell me, looking at the ratio of mental patients ratio to the doctor's ratio to the mental patients is quite wanting according to the World Health Organization. Do you think the health sector, the health department in Kenya is doing enough to ensure that they deal and attend to these mental cases adequately?
Actually, the first senior officer to ever talk about mental health I've heard of is the current CEO of NHIF, the new man, the one who was recruited just the other day. I've had discussions with many, the status of health, the State House, and all of us were watching. He never mentioned the word mental health or addiction. They simply don't want to talk about it. They just assume it's not there. They lock up their patients in their rooms, which is evil. Instead of taking them for treatment, they allow their children and their wives to die inside the rooms in their porch houses. And generally, if you look at Mathare, which was constructed in 1913, is just a symbol of national shame. Nobody cares. You look at how they are fed, how they sleep, how they are treated, then you understand that we are still in that draconian era where we know mental health. As of now, it will take the head of state to do a decree so that you can have mental health department that functions. And kudos to that National Hospital Insurance Fund boss, because he has spoken to me about 4 or 5 times in respect to rehab I'm conducting here. And he seems clear in his mind that they are going to do something at NHIF level. So don't keep your patient out there. Bring them to places like Jomek and another 234 rehabs where such things can be attended to. There are also people here who are psychiatrists. I would advise them, please don't look at an African just like a promoted pig. Look at them in respect to modern medicine which is available now, in respect to new ways of looking at the brain, in respect to new psychotherapy, and everybody will be good and home. The last 2-3 years witnessed 2,000 people recover from this center.
Thanks so much. Asante.